What I'm going to do currently right now is to create function to check all this, whether if it actually exists. I need to write the function here. Can write the function anywhere of your choice, but I try to make it to be on top of your code before everything runs. So I'm going to function here. I can say checking, say check under what? Check under what? Info. We're going to check our information that we enter. So I'm going to get every value that has been gotten by this of our username entry and our password entry. So the first one is going to be username. So it's going to be username. What have I done? It's going to be this username entry. Let me just. I'm going to do what dot get. So to get this, get what is being written on that username. And for that our password, I'm going to do similar to, we can say password what entry dot what get. So get what actually was written on that password. Since we have gotten these two right now, we're going to do some mathematical operation to check if that actually is the case in our scenario. So let's say in this situation, we enter something like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we enter here 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter where we click. I want to enter where we click on this login. It's going to check. We want this to check here in this our database whether it exists in this our database or is equal to it of our database. So what we want to do here is to say if this username that the person entered is it equal to what is our DB what username. It's basically simple. If this what we entered is equals to our DB username, because here is definitely getting our username, I'm also going to do the same thing. If it's equals to our what DB what password. So you know this is a condition. I'm going to say if username what we entered is equals to username on our database, and let me put this in here. I'm going to say and since this is going to be too long, let me just put kind of slash here to bring it to the next line. Slash here, we are trying to tell Python that, oh, this is getting too long. We want to go to the next line. So if these two guys, if the username we entered is equal to username that is in our database and the password we entered is the same password as in our database. So what do we want to happen? So what do you want us to happen? Once maybe we kind of try to show that, okay, logged in successfully. I think that should be the key idea here, to show that, oh, login successfully. I'll try to change the background color, not really useful. So let's just do that, which is going to be, let's change the background color, and we also want to print out a text on the screen for us. And I'm going to just paste it here. So let me tap these guys inside. So here I'm not going to just do much thing. I can come here and just remove this. So I'm just going to say login successful. Login successful. I don't want to change the background color. Also, I just want to do it so we know that, oh, we kind of logged in successful. And this function is going to be run by this this password. So it's going to run by this login that is here. I'm going to give this button the function for it to execute this function. So what is going to happen here? If the username is equal to username in the database and entry is equal to password that is in our database, we want to display Facebook login successful, but we want to be displayed in a particular position. So I want it to display beneath everything that we have done. And our the highest color we will have here is row 4. So I'm going to put it in somewhere in row 5 for it to display beneath it. So I can say row 5 and then colon 3. Let's leave it in that of colon 3. So let's give this a push and then see whether we actually get what we wanted. So in this login, we're going to give it a command. Like I explain all these things, what command does. Command does is really, I say command is a parameter in this button class that is going to run a function. And then we're going to run that function, which is checking info, which is the function we created here, checking info. So let's run this. Okay, let me close one that was open. Let's run it again, and then I try entering password. I know that my database password. Let me just copy my database password. I want us to see whether this is actually going to work. So let me put it here, and then my database. Sorry, that was my username, my database password. Let me put it here. So let's see what's going to happen when I click the login. You can see login successful, but the background color was still blue. So we need to, let's change it to something like I say brown. You can use any color of your choice. So let me run this again. Since I still have the password copies, I'm going to paste the password. Let me copy the username. Copy the username and then paste the username here. Let me hit login. You can see the background changed and the Facebook login successful. You can see how basically that was it. They are not, like I said, we're not doing anything really fun, anything really entertaining, anything really special. I just want us to think of how the logic actually going to work, so we can apply this and do a whole lot of other complex things by yourself. So this basically want us to look at it. Then the next we are going to do for that of signing for signing of a user. So that's basically what we are going to do in the next video. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll be happy to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.